Hello and welcome back to another episode of Pine Stars, where we discuss the University of Indianapolis Greyhounds baseball. Take a look at last week and the upcoming week ahead. With me this week is Kurt Brabender, and Coach Al Reddy. Rimke's taking a sabbatical for some unknown reason. Um, but coming off a fresh 3-win week against the fucking Prairie Stars last weekend at home. Talk a little bit about that weekend. That was huge for the Hounds last weekend.
Oh, huge is an understatement. Illinois, the most recent set of regional rankings came out this week, and Illinois Springfield was ranked fourth in the region, and so it couldn't have come at a better time for us to really come together and play well. And I think my pitching coach Connor Heinerman kind of coined the phrase "complementary baseball." I feel like it
Yeah.
was time all year that we pitched, played defense, and ran our team offense. Like I mentioned earlier, moving guys over, and we got our safety squeezes down, running hits, hitting runs. I mean, we were very successful at the short game, and the wind was blowing in, and it was tough to hit doubles and home runs on a weekend like that. And we definitely executed and came out on top.
Yeah, and I can say I was there Saturday for game one, and I mean I don't want to put too much emphasis on it. You guys lost Friday, I wasn't there. Saturday, I'm there, team
And
win, and then you win the next three. I don't, just putting that out there.
that's why we lost, and that's why we lost. Better next home game then.
But you
Well, Bates, if
guys
that's the case, then maybe you should get your happy ass in a car and drive out to Lewis right now.
probably should. Probably I got to pay for that gas somehow though. I need to be working a
Write
little
it
bit.
off.
I might be able to help you with that, if, for a win or two.
But what I could talk about is the small ball you guys were playing. First of all, your pitching and defense looked really solid. You guys were turning double plays. I think you turned at least two double plays that first game Saturday, which had been a hindrance for you guys up until that point. And then pitching was really good, but the just even guys squaring around a fake bunt, it's got to be exhausting for that defense. Because even when I was sitting there watching, I was like, I bet he does this again. And that, sure enough, next guy comes up, squares around a button. You're like, God damn, this is exhausting.
Yeah, we did run a lot of fake bunts. I mean, I know when you're up in the booth, you don't really know what's a fake and what's not. But
Right.
for me, it's just whether it's a strike thrower on the mound or not. I mean, if you get in a good hitter count, a 1-0 or 2-0 count, and you got a guy in the mound that's pumping strikes in the zone, then, I mean, I would be an absolute hypocrite if I put a fake bunt on in that scenario right there. I mean, you got to be looking to hit, figure you're going to get something to hit, so to speak. But if you got a guy on the mound that's been struggling to find the zone, then, a 1-0 or 2-0 count, a fake bunt is, something that, might play into your favor, So,
Mhm.
but you never know. You never know.
So thinking about last week, you guys, like you said it really well, the complimentary piece. You guys only gave up 15 runs in 4 games to what, the number 2 team in the conference. I mean, they're solid ball club and really minimized the damage. What kind of work did you guys put extra work in on defense this last week and really tighten
Well,
things up?
I mentioned the double play was something that we had to be better at,
Yeah.
considering that our pitching staff, we fill up the zone, but we don't strike out a whole lot of guys. So, we got to be proficient on defense. And if they're going to give us 2 outs with 1 pitch, then, we got to be certain that we're in a good position to at least get 1, if not both. And we were fortunate enough to be able to turn a couple this past weekend. We also worked hard on our bunt game too, as well. I give credit to Coach Davari, my hitting coach. He had the guys out there early each day and working on the bunt game and knowing that it was going to come into play this
Yeah.
past weekend. And we executed. And when we execute, we're tough to beat. We call it U-SPINDY, man. Spin them into the ground. The, the,
Yeah, and you've got good team speed too,
yeah.
right? Making some plays. It was windy out there Saturday too, making some defensive plays. All right, so this coming weekend, you guys are headed to Romeoville, Illinois for a 4-game set. The last set of the season against the Lewis Flyers. Lewis is not crushing it. They're 21-24 overall, 13-13 in the conference, but they have to win in order to get into the conference. So, what do you know about Lewis?
Well,
First off,
I
have you
know.
guys ever considered just real quick, have you guys ever considered a penitentiary game? A field at the pen
Yeah, there's
down the road?
down here.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Airport and a couple jails around here is what I driving in. But no, they're well coached. Uh, their coach is a good friend of mine, and he does a good job over here. It's a rebuild for them. They actually won the conference last year, but they did
Okay.
a lot of key players. So they have a younger team, and he has sort of transitioned, a little bit more towards the small ball type of play. They're very difficult to strike out if you look at their numbers. Anytime you have when you add up your walks and your hit by pitches, and that's on offense. Okay, when your guys walk and get hit by pitch more times than they strike out, then you can come to the conclusion that you're a good two-strike hitting team. Well, for example, U-Indy, we walk and get hit by pitch about 25 times more on the season than what we strike out. Lewis is 100 times more. So they're very, very difficult to strike out. And then when you combine that with a pitching staff that, for us, that doesn't strike people out anyways, you can conclude that they will put the ball in play. So,
Yeah.
they do have turf up here, but we have been playing. I wouldn't bat an eye at our fielding percentage at this point in the season because we've played really good defense the last couple weekends, and I feel like we kind of crossed that bridge and hashed out some of those issues. So I feel like we're going to be in the vicinity to make plays, and we're going to make them. And our offense is our pitchers are going to put the ball in the strike zone, and if our offense executes like they did last weekend against UIS, then the outcomes will be very favorable for the Hounds.
That sounds good. All right, Coach. I know you got to get running. I appreciate your time this week. Good luck up there at Lewis. Get 4 out of 4 if you can. Keep rising up in that regional ranking. I think right now you're sitting at number 9 coming into this weekend. So hopefully a couple more wins bumps you up into that regional spot.
That's the plan.
All right. Good luck to you, Coach.
Thanks,
Coach.
guys.
So the Lewis Flyers.
The Flyers, the airplanes. No, I mean, he says they're on a rebuild year. I mean, I guess, going from winning the conference to, having to, fight for your life this last series of the season. I mean, the guy, let's see. I mean, if they can win that first one, I think it's going to be pretty impactful for him, right?
I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah, you win that first one, I think it's going to really kind of change the tide because what's going to happen is Lewis is going to probably start pressing even more, right?
Mm-hmm.
And baseball, if you press, you're not playing loose. And you're
That's
not
exactly
playing loose,
what I
you're
was
not
thinking.
winning. So they get that first one. I mean, they're definitely going to, end Lewis's season, in 4 games.
Yeah. So, like I said earlier, Lewis was 21-24 overall, 13-13 in the conference. Last weekend, they split with McKendree and took 2 out of 4 from McKendree, but they are right on the cusp of having to. I think they're in what did he say? Conference takes 8 teams this year. I think 7
Yeah,
teams. 7 teams are already locked in, and
Yep.
Lewis is right in that next rung of they've got to win in order to get in.
Yeah. So that
And
you get that first one, that's really going to set him behind the 8 ball.
yeah. Well, the conference tournament starts Wednesday.
Is it Wednesday?
Next
Yeah,
Wednesday, May 6th.
Mountain Dew Park.
Mountain Dew Park, home of the Thrillville Thrillbillies.
The Thrillbillies.
The Thrillbillies.
What a great mascot.
But that is it's evidently that is a college summer league team, and there's at least 3 guys from Illinois Springfield that play on that team in the summer. One guy from Indiana State, and I was looking through that roster. But Caceres was the catcher for Springfield last weekend. He plays for the Thrillbillies during the summer.
Okay. I wish I would have known about that back in the day.
No.
Oh man.
But
I'm still kind of surprised. Springfield is ranked 2 in the region, 25 overall, right?
Yeah.
You take 3 out of 4 with them. Easily could have probably gotten 4 out of 4. They lost that first one. They lost 4-1. They gave up 3 runs in the first, right? I think they had 2 errors, which probably contributed to, some
In
of
that
that.
first
I
inning.
don't
Yeah.
know. I mean, they easily could have had 4 out of 4 against a top 25 team in the country. That's where I'm surprised they're still number 9 in the region after that win last weekend.
Yeah, that's because I think they were sitting maybe probably just a little bit below that at 10. But when you take down, unless the only thing I can think, because there's several GLIAC teams that are in that region, and they must be pretty strong. But I would have thought that UIndy would have moved up considerably after that last weekend.
Right, right. So, I mean, that means even more important this weekend against Lewis, right? Get hopefully you get a 4-game sweep,
Yeah,
right? And then you make the GLVC tournament, and then you've got to win. I mean, ideally you win
two.
it, right? That's your goal, but you've got to go fairly deep in that just to solidify your position in the region.
Yeah, you're gonna have to. They're gonna have to probably win two to really nail it down and not leave it on the
Yeah.
cusp. Um,
But what's good, I mean, things seem to be clicking, right? I mean, I know, UMSL, they lost 3 out of 4. They took 4 out of 4 from Lincoln and, Parkside, right? Um, but I mean, coming off the wins against Illinois Springfield, that's got to be pretty inspiring for the team saying, hey,
well,
like, we've got the tools.
and that's what has been somewhat frustrating about this season for me because you could see different times where they had the ability to score 25 runs, they had the ability to hold somebody to no runs and get a shutout, but they could never do it all together. And then so they're up and down all season, up and down. And then
Uh-huh.
that last weekend series, he couldn't have said it any better. It was all three phases of the game came into play, and you saw what that team could be if they could just all start clicking at the same time. And
Right.
and like he said, it wasn't that they were hitting bombs and hitting doubles out in the gap all day long. Hell, the most damage they did, the ball didn't leave the infield grass. I mean, they were just precision. Some of the bunts that they laid down were so good.
Yeah. And I think we asked Al that a while back about small ball, right? How much do they practice that? How much do you think the
Hmm.
teams they play against practice? And he goes, it's really not a lot. I mean,
Yeah,
they do, but I mean, you put pressure on that team or whoever you're playing, to field a bunt on the run, make a good throw. I mean, it creates chaos. And again, I love small ball. I think it's an underutilized aspect of the
hmm
game, even in the bigs. Um, but Al does a really good job of doing the small ball when needed and putting the pressure on them. And it showed last week.
yeah. You know what I noticed is, and I think UIndy does it probably a little bit more than maybe I've seen the other competition do. But the defensive shifts, I mean, they've got these guys playing all over the place. You know,
Mhm.
almost every time there's a left-handed hitter up, Perry at second base is dropping way back into the four
Right.
hole, and Duran's almost right behind second base. And then I see all this, and I'm talking about it on the air on Saturday. And then Bowen comes up in, I believe it was the sixth inning, and go ahead run. I think game was tied at that time, 7-7. And runner on third, less than 2 outs. They bring the infield in on the grass with the
Mhm.
shift. So they had first, second, and short all in between first and second, and then just the third baseman basically playing halfway between over a
Yeah.
third. And Bowen just professional hitter, Matt Stairs, just pitch outside, just drives it right
Just
through
go
the
with
six
it.
hole. I mean, it looked effortless. They just got the timely hits, didn't try to do too much with the ball, and forced Springfield to make plays, which I
And
think is a great recipe for upcoming weekends and tournaments.
yeah. And you said one thing I think really important there. You said look, he made it look effortless.
Hmm.
Any good team makes everything just look effortless, right? Whether it's a double play, whether it's hitting to the opposite side of the field, going with the pitch, right? Not trying to do too much and not playing selfish baseball, playing selfless baseball.
Yep.
And that's what you got to do to go deep in these conference tournaments, right? Sacrificing the better will of your body for the team. It's all that.
Yeah. And that effortless look comes from preparation, right? Being
Mhm.
prepared, knowing what you're doing in all these situations. All right. So taking a look at Lewis, um, the Flyers in Romeoville, man, They're kind of in a rough season, but they've got some young men that can swing it a little bit. Chris Daughtry, the American Idol winner, he's in the
He's on the
lineup.
team. Good for
I
him.
think so. Yeah.
I don't know if he's going to
Uh,
sing
he looks
national anthem.
he looks a little. He must have had years of eligibility. Really just left over. He's hitting 376 with 3 home runs and 38 RBI. That's their top average guy. And then I'm not sure if this last name is pronounced this way, but Constantine Coins. Isn't that a
Constantine Coins.
isn't that a great name?
Old Constantinople out there.
Unbelievable. That guy's got a great name. Hitting 375, 4 home runs,
I
30
want to be
RBI.
friends with him.
I would definitely hang out with him.
Yeah.
And I would not call him CC or anything. It'd be Constantine Coins. It's the whole thing. You're not getting a nickname. Jimmy Spellman hitting 345, 7 home runs and 46 RBIs. And then they've got again brothers. Tyler's the one I looked at. Tyler's hitting pretty well. But I'm gonna pronounce it as Tyler Famachanaham.
Pamakanaham.
Phomachanham. That's a 13-letter name. He's got 13 doubles on the season. I mean,
Dude, in kindergarten when you have to spell your last name to pass it, do you think he had to retake kindergarten because he couldn't spell his last name?
that's so long.
And you said he has a brother?
Yeah, there's a brother. I think his name's Tylen. I think.
Are they twins?
No, who knows? They may be. But
I'm just saying, like,
no.
what's
Tyler's hitting 315. He's got 13 doubles and 32 RBIs in the season. Blake is Famachanham is at 333 with one home run and 4 RBIs. So
I was going to say it, and they're probably roommates. I wonder if they ever get in arguments about who's better.
I'm guessing that may happen a time or two. Have you heard about this kid from John A. Logan Junior College in Carbondale over in Illinois?
No, but you're gonna tell me about him.
This kid's name, he is John A. Logan's, I don't know what position he plays, Cameron Yearsley. He's about to break a 27-year-old JUCO record for home runs in a season. He has 37 home runs this year.
That's like Bryce Harper-esque.
That's what they're saying. That's what they were saying on ESPN. Like this kid's hitting Bryce Harper JUCO numbers. 37 home runs, 97 RBIs.
Holy shit.
41 walks, and he's been hit by 20 pitches. His on-base percentage is 614.
I wonder how many intentional walks those are, though, as well. Is he
very well.
Is he getting Barry Bonds numbers there?
It could be, but he's still hitting 37 fucking home runs.
How many strikeouts?
I don't have that.
That's impressive. That is absolutely impressive.
Incredible
I don't care
season.
what level you play of ball. That is impressive.
I think they said he's averaging a home run every one for every 4.5 at bats. That's insane. Playing right over there by Thrillbilly Park is where he's playing.
It kind of reminds me of my Baseball 9 stat line. Baseball 9's a little video game on my phone that I play when I'm taking a dump.
Yeah.
It's my stat line on Baseball 9.
Oh, shit. All right, let's get to our clicks to pick. Rimke couldn't be here, but he sent in his pick for this week. And he was getting away. He said he wanted to get away from the pitching staff this week. He wanted to go back to the offensive side of the plate. Rimke said he felt really good that Bowen was going to be coming up to bat in an important situation in game 1. And so, but Boss Baby is Rimke's click to pick this week. So we'll see if Rimke finally gets one right.
Let's see if his magic 8 ball worked this week.
Yeah. All right. Kurt, who you got this week?
Yeah. So question for you.
Yes, sir.
Where do you go to see less?
Seymour.
You go to Seymour to see less.
That's right.
Who's from Seymour?
Brett Perry.
Brett Perry. That's my guy.
The sophomore out of Seymour. There he is.
Sophomore out of Seymour. He's seen a lot less down in Seymour than people see more in Seymour.
Absolutely.
So yeah, no, I'm gonna go with Brett Perry. Guy's been on pretty good streak lately. I mean, he's had some big hits. Illinois Springfield, I think, had a really good weekend against him. Maybe a little up and down against Missouri, St. Louis, but again, he's coming too. So yeah, he's my click to pick this week. So
And that he's the one that's kind of that catalyst for those double plays too. He got those double
mhm.
plays going last weekend against Springfield, and that up the middle, him and Duran working well together. I'm going to stay on the infield
Yeah,
as well. My click this week, we haven't called him very much, is Garrett Roosh playing third base. I think he's going to
okay.
make a couple big plays early in this series. He's comes up in important times, but he's another one of those guys can get the bunt down, can
Mhm.
hit and run, do all those kinds of things. So Garrett Roosh is my click this week, and it's going to be again this weekend in Romeoville playing against Lewis, and then it's a short turnaround before Wednesday's
Yeah.
GLVC tournament.
All right. Right back to Marion, Illinois on probably Tuesday. So
Yeah,
you have a Sunday, Monday, and then you're gone. So
yep.
that I
And
recall back in the day. I mean, these were the fun times, right? I mean, school's pretty much all but out, right?
I think
It's
graduation was
just
last week or this week, maybe.
yeah. So you've got nothing to worry about. You're fully focused on baseball, right? Just hanging with the team, no
Yep.
other distractions. I mean, and this team knows when you run deep in the tournament. I mean, there's nothing like that. I mean, those are some of my fondest memories back in the day of
Yeah.
making it deep in the tournament, living there on Lawrence Avenue. Just playing baseball, not having a care in the world.
Yep.
So
That was your job. That was your responsibility at that time, was just to play baseball. And that was like I would 100% agree with what you're talking about,
yeah,
those deep runs.
yeah, for
So
sure. Was Al on a party bus, by the way? I mean, he had that purple
he kind
neon
of looked
light
like
up there.
it. He
I
had
mean,
the
he might have
neon
been on a
lights
party
up
bus.
top.
Yeah.
Dinch, 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 dinch. Um, well, we got our clicks to pick in. We got a chance to talk to Coach Reddy this week. We appreciate his time. Kurt, I appreciate your time. Hopefully the
Always
Greyhounds are
happy to
able to
be
go
here.
out. Always a good time. Hopefully the Greyhounds can go out and win another series. Hopefully win 4 out of 4. Keep moving up those ranking lists. You got any final thoughts for us, Kurt?
No, I mean, big series, right? Again, if you get 4 out of 4, great. Obviously, it'd be great to have some additional help there too for those, 6 through 8 teams, 9 teams in the region right now. Just help with the region rankings. But again, right, come off a big win last week in Illinois Springfield, coming to Lewis. So and moving right in the GLVC championship tournament. So big
Absolutely.
week, big week.
All right. Well, I appreciate your time, and Greyhounds, go get them this weekend. See if you can get all 4 out of 4. Fuck it. Just get all 4 out of 4.
Fuck it, 4 out of 4.
All right. We'll catch you guys next week.
Later all.